important that you don't gall or screw up the hole that you're going to tap, because you're looking for every bit of material to create your threads. Alright, now I'll go ahead and set that off to the side there. Alright, I like to have just a little tiny bit of chamfer on my leading edge here before I go into creating a thread. And also the original ones had a little chamfer like that. Kind of helps start everything. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and chuck up on our tap, because we're in the mill and I like doing it because it's nice and easy, and I go ahead and I put this in free spin. Now I use the spindle as a tap guide, and I take the brake all the way off, and then I control the down, and I rotate this by hand. And actually, after you get it started, you don't even have to hold the handle up there because the spindle's in free mode, and this will go right on down. And it's on aluminum, it's not real hard, so you know, I don't need a T-handle or anything else, and I make sure that it's got plenty of fluid and juice, and I can also feel when it comes through the other side where now it's almost coasting. Okay. Sometimes if you're in a panic or you think you need to, you can undo it and bring it on out, but I find that just by keeping just slight pressure on the on your grip there, and as soon as you come free, you're out of the hole. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go to our next one. Now we're still going to run the coaxial indicator in there, but we can go ahead and use our tap follower and just kind of come over here and do a quick eyeball. Okay, we like that. Okay, I'll change out and get the coaxial in here. Okay, we tighten that up and bring this down here. Stick it right in there. We bring it down to the right height. We lock this in here. Okay, and what are we in, low speed or high speed? We're in low speed. Okay, bring it into high speed. Well, we can't be running that perfect, I know. Okay, here we go. You gotta know when to trust your coaxial indicator and when not to. Okay, I like that. Okay, and just verifying it once again. Right in there. Alright, let's go ahead and bring our indicator down here and bring it down to our line, and we'll put it in high speed here. Okay. Worst, better, best. We go worst, better, the best. Come back to the other side. Worst, better. Alright, now we go ahead and we lock our tables and our feet, our knee. Okay, we go out a little bit. There's worse, better, back to the best. Same thing here. Worse, better, best. Okay, there's lined up with the 0. That's when a coaxial indicator is working pretty good. I had to throw a little light oil on it. It was being a little sticky. I don't use it too often, but if I bring it out of the box every couple months or so, I usually gotta put a little drop of oil on it. Okay, and the visual eye looks good. Okay, now these were only about 3/4 inch deep. And I think that's exactly where our weld was right about there. Okay, so we're going to mark these after we get down to the top. Okay, right there. We're going to call that 0 on our spindle. I think I milled down to 800. But the drill point, I think, was in about 3/4 of an inch, which is more than enough to be in there, I think. I'm going to grab one of the bolts just to make sure after I get down to 3/4 of an inch. The helicoil will probably only be a 1/2 inch long, so okay, there's about 850 right there. Okay, we got it's about 950 right here, and we have a 1/4 inch flange, and we got 2 metal pieces that actually sandwich back together. You get all of those in there, and we're going to be eating up probably about 3/8 of an inch. So we're going to be well deep enough to let them all go at that depth right there. Okay, same thing here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to chamfer them. Now these I do the same thing, except for I just go down till I'm bottoming out in the hole here. Okay, that feels like the bottom. There we go. Alright, put it back in gear. Okay, one more to go. Okay, here's my last indicating the hole here. So we threw in the 3/8, call it. We threw in we wiggle that till it gets down in there. We bring that right to that line right there. We lock this up here, and you know what I mean? Sometimes she just a little sticky. Worse, better, worse, better, best, worse, better. That's the best, worse, better. That looks like the best. Okay, let's get out in the open, rechange positions here, get these holes cleaned out, and I'm going to install the helicoils. Okay, one of the things I like to do is go ahead and well, that was disappointing. US patent, okay, printed in USA, but I just saw made in China here on the driver. So regardless, just a note. I like to take a T-handle to drive your insert tool. It gives you a real nice leverage and everything else. You want to spin your insert on and make sure the tang is catching. Sometimes it'll skip underneath or whatever, and then you can bung up or you can mess up a helicoil in a heartbeat here. Firm start. That chamfer really does help everything. Now you want to screw this down in there, and I picked a short one here. That we have 3 lengths. Actually, I picked a medium length here because we have 8, 12, and 16 millimeter on the lengths there. And this was too long to put the 16 millimeter in here. And you want to go almost 1 full tooth underneath the top surface there. And that's how I like to put them in there. And you can actually see that that's probably lacking about 3 threads from coming through on that side there. All right, we're going to go ahead and put another one in here. We'll knock all the pins out, the tangs out when we're 100% happy where they're at. All right, that one's joined there. It's really no effort to put these things in. If the tool and the line and using the tap handle, okay, I see that just disappearing just underneath right there, okay. All right, now these here, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit longer one in there. I know that the thread can hold it, and there we go. That way my kit keeps a constant supply in here. And there we're underneath. Alright, now we can put the driver back in. Now we take the rod, and the rod slips down through here, and breaks the little tang. And those two tangs are broke. They're inside. We'll have to turn it upside down. This tang will break and probably drop out. There it goes. There goes that one. And a little tang, nothing more than a little J-shaped piece on the end. And then we go ahead and we make sure we get, there's one. Little arrow will probably bring that one out. There it goes. Okay, now we're 100% finished with this surface. We're going to go ahead and we're going to smooth out just a little bit here, not try to take the whole thing away, just smooth it out a little bit, and then we're going to go set this up. We're going to take a skim cut on this so that we can renew this sealing surface on this side. Alright, we just came in, we just took a light sand around this outside. We didn't really take all the weld off. In fact, there's some sticking out on this surface right here. We come in here, we have preset this up to go ahead and be able to set this right on the table. I think we're going to overhang it right there. We're going to bring over our clamp we had over there, and we're going to put it sideways right here. We're going to put an indicator on here. We're going to test run this face around here, make sure that we are square with the table and all of that. And we have our 4-inch wheel cutter here. And we're only talking about taking 5/10 thousandths or something like that off of the surface to make this surface 100% sealable. Bring this back to fresh clean. You can see it only has a couple areas here where it actually makes contact, and there's a hollow underneath here where two surfaces lay close to each other, but they don't make contact. They're not the seal. Material or moisture gets in between there, and it just goes to heck from there. All right. Let me go get a clamp and we'll start indicating this part in. Okay, just to quickly set this up, alright, we got this loose. We're going to take 1/8 of an inch. That means we want 1/8 of an inch sticking out from the table here. Okay, so we hold that down there, and we hold that one there. Okay, so we can push that right against there, so that surface is square with the edge of the table. And of course, the edge of this table, I've reworked this area right in here, and it's had a couple skid marks and a couple other things there prior to me getting it, but I did put some braze on here, so this is just rough. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and lightly snug our housing right there. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get a mag base on here so that we can go back and forth and up and down and get a good reading on where we're at here. Okay, we've lowered our table all the way down, and we've got a dial here. We just screw this in here until we get about 0 here, and we're going to go side to side here first, just a little bit, so that we can see how much we are off side to side. And this is on the top section here, so. And actually it goes up and then comes back down. So there's like +2. And then there's like plus 3 or 4 right at the end. It's plus. Alright. We're back at 0. Now we're going to go ahead and feed this straight up so we can indicate this way here. When we get down here, then we'll go across and we'll see what it is down there below. I'll just keep my eye on it in here. Okay, we went up to 10. We're still +10. Okay, we're like +8 right there. I'm going to go ahead and go down just a little bit because we're right near a hole there, and I want to make sure I'm going past there. Okay, that was plus 10. Really doesn't vary too much. Okay, that's minimum wearing right there. And there's another minimum wear right there. Let's go up and down. These are the two ports here and here that are blocked off that still have got like virgin material here. Goes to 10.
Hey babe, you hungry?
And down to 10. Okay, we came up to the midsection here. We've been up and down and across from side to side. Pretty close to 10. Okay, now this is a 2 areas right here and here. So we'll go up first. Alright, we got 10. And we got 10 there. Okay, we do flood out to about minus and down to 0 in these worn out valleys right here. I'm going to say that we're good and we're square, and I like that. We cinched this down and we're set to go. We're going to be running this dry. We're just taking a very, very light cut. So I'm leaning in here because I need to see when I touch here. Okay. That's touching. I'm just taking 5/1000 off of from where I touch. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and feed across. I'm going to go ahead and I'm cranking in 2 1/8 inches a minute as far as our surface feet. Let that come all the way across, and then we'll go straight. We'll lower the table and we'll go across the top. Now we're feeding it back the other direction there. We've taken a skim on that side complete, and when this part gets over here, we'll be able to come in from the side to get a good light on it and get a good finish. I did see a little shadow of part of the original material on that side, so we'll be waiting and see what we got as a whole picture, and then decide if we want to take any more or not. Okay, I can already see a hollow in up here. Slight shadow down in here. We'll let this pass finish off here. And just the same as all this welding right here could have shrunk in a little bit of that. But this was heavily corroded in that area. We'll probably see the original footprint a little bit better. I came around to this side so I can even see it just as nice as you can, and we can see there's some hollow down in here, so this area really could have some. Around this port right here is pretty good. This is pretty good, but it's just starting to catch up into here. This bolt has got good contact around it. This bolt right here, it's got some up here where the new material is, and a little tiny bit down in here, so we're not really far off of any alignment here. And it's looking even both side to side. We have a cradle in here. I chose this surface here because we created this surface here, and I wanted to make sure that this was true with everything originally done on the part. So that's kind of why I put this surface down. And we were reading the same here and here. We saw that, and we were reading the same in here. We were reading light in here, and it's showing us that that is light. And we were reading light here, but not quite as much. And so I'm feeling that. I'm going to grab my depth mic because I can put it across here and here, and I can put the anvil down in there. That feels like it's, I don't know. I was able to get my depth mic right behind I had on the press there. If I was to guess, I would say that that's probably about 9 thousandths. I'm raising it up till it interferes, and then I'm just bringing it down a little bit, okay? I didn't measure that first, okay? That was shooting from the hip. Okay, we'll do that again. Just a little bit up till we hit that. We back it off. This is a little closer out to the edge. There's about 7. There's about 7.5. So it's like right in that middle valley right there. Right there. That was a good guess, 9,000. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're going to crank the table this way here. We're going to shoot for 9. If it leaves a little tiny shadow here, that's fine. As long as we get all of this right in here, all cleaned up, I'll be really happy. Okay, but we're going to set 0 here. You know, back in the day, some lathes and some mills and stuff like that, it's like when they came to dials, they go, you know, how did they ever get anything accurate with some of the dials they make? But Kearney and Trecker really made some real nice dials, and even to this day, every once in a while I might put an indicator up there. Sometimes I put it here, and I like to do that. But pretty much what you say you're going to take, or what you dial and what you move, is really what you get. We're just trying to get an equal smooth surface on here, and I think this one cut right here and down and back the other direction there, and we're going to be all set. Okay, lunch just came in. So it's a pork sandwich, but she gave me the bone too because she knows I like to nibble on that. So that's another good reason why you keep your meal table cleared out, so you got someplace to eat. Okay, we're going back across the bottom there, and you can still see that there is a slight little hollow right in here, but I think we're going to be able to let that fly. Alright, that's just a little tiny hollow there, and we're all the way out the edge here. I know we got good seal around this port here, and those other two ports that were here, there's some good material in there. I don't want to take too much off of this face here, but I'm going to take it on over, and we're gonna be hand lap it, just to make sure that even though this is a 4-inch cut here and a 4-inch cut here, we want to make sure that the whole surface as a whole is perfectly flat. I mean, this is an old Kearney and Trekker, and you know, we may have just a slight little tiny bit of a difference between this cut and this cut here because of the height moving and the distance and the angle on this table being trammed in or not trammed in, or you know, and if I do know that I cut just a little bit more in one direction than I do the other direction there, so it will have a slight bit of dish on it. Nothing that hand lapping can't take care of. So we're going to go ahead and pop it off of here, and we'll go on over to our lapping table, and we're going to bring it on and create a lap surface on all three sides. But this one here to basically make sure that we have 100% flatness, not 100% on cleaning this up here. Depending on how the light hits, depends on how the light hits it, but I can see scratches on almost everything. A little hollow in here, a little tiny bit in here, but I do see scratches. But I mean, you know, you got to hold this down close to the bottom. I could put fluid on there, but I'm not. I'm just going to do it dry. That's looking pretty good. Not going to take much to make sure that that whole surface is nice and flat. Alright, I think I'm nice and happy with that. Alright, we're going to do a little bit on the end. That surface is nice. A little dress up on this one here. It doesn't mate with anything, but there we go. Wipe it down with some acetone. Well, just because everybody's going to want to see it together, and this thing really did clean up some nice. Alright, so I'm not going to put the O-rings in it right now. I'm going to assemble this thing so that we can see the screws and the bonnets and everything, and make sure that our bolt holes all line up. And just so these washers don't get kind of lost or Okay, gaskets, O-rings, and this thing is ready to go back together. This will get her done.